Okay, now I'm nervous.
That's good.
Oh, good. Oh, not good that I'm nervous, just good that the camera angle is good.
We both have equal selvage next to us.
See, now that is a great way to start out. This will be the ultimate quilt market interview for me. Miss Kathy Miller, Michael Miller Fabrics, sitting in the Michael Miller booth. But yeah, I'm nervous about all of this silly, crazy stuff because it's exciting and it's fun. Welcome to the show, Kathy.
The excitement overrules the nervousness.
If it wasn't for the wild creative energy, I don't think any of us would do this. Is this correct?
That's true. Yeah.
I'm not supposed to make the interviews about me, which is
go ahead.
terribly difficult because what I want to say to everybody and to you again is thank you for giving me one of my major starting points. I mean, if you were a warrior of old, you had the catapult that launched me over the fence into, creative success.
Yeah.
And I just want to say thank you for that and not trusting me to design fabric, but to design quilts instead for you.
Thank you.
It's the best decision you made for both of us ever, really, because this is so much more fun. And I guess you've always seen what I do well and used that talent in me, and I thank you for teaching me what I do well.
Okay.
So
yes,
now,
yes. Okay.
Kathy, we got tons of footage. Tell us the story of Michael Miller Fabrics.
Oh God, long time ago.
In a galaxy far away.
Yeah. Michael and I had worked at the same company and partnered, him calling on sales or calling on different people that made stuff, not quilting stuff. And so I'm the stylist and he does the selling and I do get the artwork done.
Right.
And so we had worked together actually a few years and in this company, and it was a good partnership.
Yeah.
And to wrap it up, it's a good partnership now too.
Right.
At the end, jumping to the end.
Right, because that's partly why I was so excited to get to interview you, because you also have an announcement to make.
I'm retiring.
Right. After how many years of Michael Miller?
This would be year 15.
Right.
Yeah.
Now I thought it was almost year 20. How did I get that wrong?
20. Well, I've been in this industry for a long time.
Right.
Long time.
But Michael Miller, you just said 15?
I did say 15. Michael Miller. Oh my, do I stand corrected?
Or sit corrected possibly?
Yeah.
Well, because I thought Houston was our 20th anniversary next year.
Oh my God.
Or this year.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think my brain stopped at 15.
Right.
Yeah. It's like my age.
Right. Well, her age obviously has stopped at 15. Look at how young and youthful. Yeah, and that was the blow mind for me is I didn't realize, and you said it yesterday, I'm 65, and it is my time to do my next exciting thing.
Because I can. It's like, I'm ready.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can because of what you've done in the industry. You've been a creative leader. You've created this inspiration, but you've been successful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You find like-minded people. You get into a field that you genuinely enjoy,
Right.
and love. And we're so lucky because I previously had been on the garment side of the business, not anything to do to quilting. And the first time that we did a quilting show, I was like, oh my God, they're fanatics about prints and fabric, and it's like. Our first line that we showed to some store owners was like, I wasn't, they were kind of stone-faced, this group of women. That's the other thing, you're dealing with a lot of women. And I wasn't quite sure. And then they opened up and they kind of like bought everything. And I turned around at the end of this and I was like, go back into our room behind the scenes. I was like, they bought everything and they didn't even ask me the price.
Right.
How could this be?
No, but you just said something that I found really interesting, though. You said it was all women this time, because in garment it was a lot of men.
Yeah.
Right. And they just bought different?
Not all women, but it was interesting dealing with a lot of women, store owners, company owners, and it's a different dynamic.
Well, guys are supposed to be, tough and not show all of our emotion and all of this kind of stuff.
Women
And
can do the same thing.
right. But what I find in this industry, what I love is the men and women alike are enthusiastic.
Yes.
They're here because they like it. They're here because they're passionate about color. They're passionate about design. They're passionate about movement.
Well, they're passionate about the product.
Yeah.
They have to love the product. They personally love it, and they know their customers walking. They really know their customer, and they're in sync, and it's magic.
Right. So I kind of cut you off when you said talking about the end, because we're discussing retirement. But I want everyone to hear.
The end.
No, it is not the end. The end of storing artwork in unusual locations, possibly. That was the story I want everyone to hear. Also, that I love so much is where the fabric was originally housed. The secret safe of all of the original Michael Miller artwork.
Okay, yeah. When we started out, I was living in Connecticut, and Mike had his apartment in New York, shared with his soon-to-be wife, and it was a very small apartment. So we started in his apartment, and his desk was the small dining table, and my area was the small open kitchen. So the countertop was my workspace. The space below where pots and pans were was everything else. I would move it. At the end of the day, I would move it, whatever, I'd clear up my area so they could have a normal dinner. And a lot of the storage for the artwork was in the oven.
And what a perfect place to keep things flat. And I visited New York only a few times, but the first time I visited, when I opened my friend's refrigerator, there were only leftover containers of sauces from the local takeout places. There was no food.
Well, that would be my home. Yeah, I'm not much of a cook.
Well, I certainly enjoyed eating when we were in New York together. I mean, that was eye-opening for me, the culture of just getting to go everywhere and food, amazing food everywhere.
You need to get out more.
I don't mind the beaches of California, but yes, I guess when I'm also equally as excited about an almond butter sandwich, maybe I just need to eat more versus get out more, right?
Eating, that's what the whole studio artist thing is like, fueled by good food.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and I find that even eating healthy like we've been doing here at Quilt Market has the extra energy. I mean, we went 48 hours straight getting this place put together, basically.
That's part of the game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Eating healthy, I'm finding on top of nutrition, stretching, breathing, trying to keep myself more focused. I'm one of those busy-minded people, and so I'm happiest when I'm focused on a single project, but often I have so many things in my head going.
I'm the same way. Yeah, that's why I'm a night owl in the studio, because it takes me a while to get in the zone on what I'm doing. And food is either a procrastination or gets you in the mood, whatever. Yeah, it takes a lot.
We've taken a lot to blending. You see, a blended meal can be carried around the studio in one hand while you consume it this way and keep drawing or keep typing or do whatever. See, if they would make a big enough straw on my Camelback, I could probably put the blended meal in the Camelback and just wear it with me as I go. But
and most studios are fueled by coffee.
Yes.
And
we have a live studio audience as well. This is really fun today.
So, and our studio in Sonoma is like, oh my God, you get 3 artists that were also baristas.
Right.
It's like, it's like that can be like a half-hour conversation amongst everything you're doing about what's the best coffee. So you finally all agree on it, and then it's very particular how it's made. So that's an integral part of the day.
Yeah, I find that the coffee ritual is something I often look forward to and enjoy discussing. You know me, I travel with my little French press mug, and the amount of conversations I have had due to that little mug, because it's people find it odd you'll stand in line at Starbucks just for free hot water.
Right. Also, in case your audience doesn't know this, he's quite a MacGyver, this guy.
That's why I love this job so much. The creativity never ends. Never ends. Okay, so great segue then. Because we're discussing creativity never ending, we've got the oven and I'm doing a job here. I'm interviewing. What's next?
I don't know.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, no, and that's the fun of it.
Yes, it
I
is.
don't know, and I've got my sister here. First off,
Come in, Gene. Come. We've thrown to you, so come on. Now, Gene, most of what I want folks to understand about Quilt Market, you got to look right here in the camera. There she is. She likes to be. She's not shy. There's Gene. Say hi, Gene.
Hello.
Now, what a lot of you need to understand about Quilt Market is the entire quilting industry is a family, but what it takes to put your businesses on display over and over again while running your businesses back at home is your family. And so, yeah, I originally started kind of as a helper, volunteering, putting the booth together so that my quilts would be displayed properly in Kathy's booth, of course. But then over time, you start to meet, and Tom, who's not at this trip, but he was like the lead carpenter for a lot of years, and Tom and I just had so much fun building stuff and sneaking cars into convention centers and all kinds of stuff. So to me and all of these other vendors, all of these other booths, this is the magic that we get to happen. This is where the family and everybody gets together. So
yeah, I will miss that part of you. You know, you come in, you've got your crew, your team that you're all like whatever circus people, and you're going to make it happen.
Yeah.
You know, and there will ultimately be one snafu every time that will take a little fixing, inventiveness.
three sisters sewing in the hotel room all night kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because often Mindy's here with them as well. Yeah, whole family. Okay, so Gene, now that you're being interviewed, as a non-quilter, is it commander?
What?
Your actual title in the Army?
Well, I'm retired lieutenant colonel, and it's been 33 years, and it was my niche because I'm naturally bossy.
Well, so you're stereotypical non-quilter, so we would think, but there is no such thing as a stereotypical quilter or non-quilter, as we're here to prove. So what is your favorite part of Quilt Market as a non-quilting professional?
The setup and tear down. That's where I get to use a lot of my skills, bossing around people.
But you're a bit of a MacGyver yourself.
Yes, and we can always figure out a way to make stuff work when it's, oops, we're short.
And also queen of the costumes, because often we've needed a gnome or a Santa Claus or a favorite costume, Gene?
The gnome.
The gnome was rad. We couldn't get her out of it for I think about 60 days afterwards, and the costume just kind of finally fell apart, I think.
It did. And nobody here knew who the gnome was.
The unknown?
Yeah, unknown.
Yeah.
I should end it right there, but...
Did you know the gnome?
Did you?
The gnome. Did you know?
Did you see the gnome? Okay. Now, girls, one of the fun things we have is the mystery box of questions. And I think it's, even though, I mean, it is Kathy Miller, I think she should have to answer a mystery question. So if you will, please. Now, you could ask Jean to go first, so if you wanted to. I'll give you that option. She has to draw a question of her own. You have to draw a question of your own. Kathy, who's going to read the first question?
Jean.
Okay.
Okay. Applique, hand or machine?
A perfect question for our non-quilter in the group.
By hand. I do a lot of appliques and needle felting and embroidery and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm a hand person.
Fantastic. Okay, Kathy.
So since I've
Right.
I've previewed mine, the question is: someone uses your fabric scissors to cut something other than fabric. What do you do? I say, you've joined the club.
Oh no!
That's why I have a zillion pairs of scissors. And because I think it's because I don't really like rules. So, like, I'm going to use the scissor I want, and I did, and I maybe ruined it, but yeah, I kind of remember that handle of that scissor, and I'll know to use it for cutting metal or something. Yeah.
I couldn't have paraphrased it better myself. Renegade fabric design guru, Kathy Miller.